How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, this story, I call it dirty, dirty, dirty. I'm telling you. Boy, is these folks up in D.C. dirty. I mean, they are dirty to the core. And who leads it? Trump. And he has no shame. So many have heard by now that FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, basically he was fired. And Trump been fucking with him on Twitter for a good while. And so anyway, my royal family, there's another player in this. Bam. Jeff Sessions, the KEEBLER kid, or no, the KEEBLER man, whatever you want to call him. He doing everything he can to be in the good graces of Trump. So he is the one that fired this dude. Now, the things that they are saying is true, but this is really a personal vendetta when you fire someone days away from you getting your full pension. And I'm gonna leave it right there because I have some videos to play, but I'm gonna tell y'all how this is gonna all play out. But one thing that I can say is the shit that Trump is doing, it seems like he don't care if people turn on him. He's not loyal to anyone. And I still think at the end of the day, Jeff Sessions, even though he made this move to appease him, he's still coming for you, because he got that Napoleon complex. And I mean, I'm talking about these people dirty. Ooh, they dirty. So I have a little short video to play so y'all can get a clear picture of what's going on.
Breaking news into the newsroom. Here's the latest.
This is Paula Reed reporting from Washington. Former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe has been fired just 2 days before he was expected to retire after 21 years with the FBI. He stepped down from his position in January and was expected to officially retire on Sunday, but Attorney General Jeff Sessions fired him effective immediately late last night. This decision comes after FBI ethics officials recommended that McCabe be fired, accusing him of a lack of candor about whether he shared information with the media about an investigation into the Clinton Foundation. In a statement, the Attorney General said Mr. McCabe had made an unauthorized disclosure to the news media and lacked candor, including under oath, on multiple occasions. All FBI employees know that lacking candor under oath results in dismissal. The Justice Department says 19 other people have been fired for lack of candor over the last year. But McCabe punched back hard. He released a statement saying, quote, "For the last year and a half, my family and I have been the targets of an unrelenting assault on our reputation and my service to the country. The president's tweets have amplified and exacerbated it all." President Trump has been critical of the former deputy director. Back in December, he tweeted, quote, "FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe is racing the clock to retire with full benefits. 90 days to go." McCabe insists he was authorized to speak with the press. He says, quote, "I am being singled out and treated this way because of the role I played, the actions I took, and the events I witnessed in the aftermath of the firing of James Comey. It's part of the administration's ongoing war on the FBI and the efforts of the special counsel investigation." But it's unclear what will happen to McCabe's pension. It is expected that this decision will delay his benefits and he could lose a portion of what he would have received. But this situation it's unprecedented, and it will likely have to be resolved in court. Paula Reed, CBS News.
All right, my royal family, they pretty much said what I was going to say. I forgot about that part about they're going to have to deal with this thing with his pension in court. And it also demonstrates how low down dirty Trump is, how he don't give a fuck about nobody, and the way they play politics up there in D.C., they're going to continue to do what they do. But he's a new type of breed, and he think that all he can do, he can, right now the shadow government is allowing him to do the things that he or doing, but eventually they're going to pull his coattail because he's, I blame this all on the shadow government because they have a purpose for him being there, but he's reckless. He don't care. I was listening to some video recently, and they were saying that it is so chaotic at the White House, it's unreal. And they said that's how Trump's world is. He loves chaos, very drama filled. I mean, when I say he's a true definition of a nigga, this is a nigga. A nigga come in many forms, shapes, colors, and anything else you can think of. Does not apply to the royal family. You know, they want to cover us with that. I vet each one personally, and he's a true definition of one, and that is low down dirty. That now you going after a man's money. I even learned this from a white man that I work with. He was a decent superintendent that he had, and he said he was taught by his own father, you never go after a man's money, even if he's wrong, because now you instantly you have became an enemy with that person, because what you are saying, the volumes of what you are saying is you don't even give a damn if this person's family eat their own children. But that's just how they get down with each other. So we need to really take heed. If they getting down like that with each other, these coons out here, what make them think that if they get in their crosshairs, they won't put them on the auction block? This is a nasty game, I'm telling you. And then it's also Trump's way of trying to stop this probe. He cannot stop it in Russia. He can't stop it. So he's acting out as a 2-year-old having a temper tantrum. He's going to have his way no matter what. So then we might as well call him Jeff Sessions KEEBLER, or Jeff KEEBLER Sessions. What y'all think, my royal family? So anyway, I guess he done grew him a pair of balls for right now. But he got his day coming too, and he no damn good at all. So this is a more in-depth video. It's about 7 minutes, and it really give you even a bigger picture how they get down up there.
Just fired Andrew McCabe, who was briefly the acting director of the FBI. McCabe, who had stepped down from his post earlier this year but remained an FBI employee, had been accused by the Justice Department's Inspector General of authorizing the disclosure of sensitive information to a reporter and misleading investigators when asked about it. McCabe had been a lightning rod in the political battles surrounding the investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server and Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller III's probe into whether any Trump associates coordinated with Russian agents to interfere in the 2016 presidential race. And we are now joined by phone by Pete Williams, NBC News Justice Department correspondent. Pete, what can you tell us about this?
Well, what the Attorney General says in a statement that just came out a few seconds ago is that he has accepted the recommendation from both the Justice Department's Inspector General and the FBI's Office of Personal Responsibility, the OPR, the Professional Responsibility. Both had recommended that Andrew McCabe be fired for 2 reasons, according to Jeff Sessions' statement. First, they say he authorized the unauthorized disclosure of information about the Clinton investigation while the investigation was going on. And what the Inspector General had said is that violates FBI policy not to discuss investigations while they're going on. But secondly, and perhaps more importantly, what the statement from the Attorney General says is that when McCabe was asked about this on more than one occasion, including while he was under oath, his answers, they believe, were not truthful. And for that reason, the Attorney General says he concluded that it was right to accept the recommendation, so Andy McCabe has been fired. Now, what this means for his pension, which of course is an important question, his actual retirement date, Lawrence, was 2 days from now, Sunday, his birthday. That's the day he actually stepped down as deputy FBI director in late January, presumably at the urging of the FBI director, Chris Wray, who was aware of these recommendations. But McCabe had said his retirement date would be this coming Sunday. So this puts his pension in jeopardy, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he'll lose it, according to government personnel experts that I talked to earlier today. He has some options he can pursue that perhaps will preserve part of his pension. But the bottom line here is that the Attorney General has accepted the recommendation and emphasizes in his statement that this is what the Justice Department's Inspector General and the FBI recommended, obviously attempting to say that this was not politically motivated, Lawrence.
Pete, let me just get those distinctions clear. So it's a recommendation not just from the Inspector General, but also a recommendation from the FBI?
Right. So here's the sequence. As you were saying, the Inspector General, right after the inauguration, said he was launching an investigation into how the FBI handled the entire Clinton email investigation. As part of that, he became aware that in October of 2016, the FBI, the Wall Street Journal was working on a story about the status of the Clinton investigation and had picked up suggestions that the FBI was dragging its feet on part of that, which is an investigation of the Clinton Foundation. And what apparently happened here is that Andrew McCabe authorized someone in the FBI to talk to the Wall Street Journal reporter and basically say, no, that's not the case. We believe there's still reasons to keep that going. That is what got the Inspector General's attention. And then when, according to the IG, when he was questioned about it, he wasn't fully forthcoming, Andrew McCabe. So the IG made a recommendation to the FBI's Office of Professional Responsibility that he be fired. OPR looked into it, concurred, and then, in essence, that would have been the end of it, except that McCabe appealed this to the Justice Department, which is his right. And now the Attorney General says he's reviewed it and thinks the recommendations are correct.
And, Pete, I just want to clarify for the audience, the Inspector General is not a Trump appointee. This Inspector General is a longtime Justice Department employee, isn't he?
Right. He's been there. He served under the Obama administration as well, Michael Horowitz.
And the Wall Street Journal article in question actually cites sources at certain points that are labeled as sources close to McCabe. And so it was pretty obvious that where the Journal was getting that help. But the information that was coming from the McCabe sources actually read as as somewhat anti-Clinton information. It was information that pushed the investigation further in the direction of looking at what Hillary Clinton was doing.
Well, that's right. I mean, 2 points about that, Lawrence. One is the article itself says that the FBI officials that talked to the Journal reporter, who, by the way, is named Devlin Barrett, he's now at the Washington Post, he's covered the Justice Department for many years and is a very smart guy. The story said that the FBI pushed back at that suggestion that they were trying to drag their feet, that they thought there was something to the Clinton Foundation investigation. So it's not, McCabe has come under a lot of criticism from the president, from Republicans in Congress who thought he was too favorable to Hillary Clinton in the email investigation, but the statement that was given to the Wall Street Journal is definitely not favorable to Clinton.
Pete, why 10 p.m. on a Friday night? What happened between, say, 4 o'clock this afternoon and 10 p.m. tonight? What prevented the Attorney General from doing this during normal business hours?
Well, only yesterday did Andrew McCabe meet with the staff of the Deputy Attorney General. So the Deputy Attorney General had to take his time with this and then pass it along to the Attorney General, who was out of town yesterday. He was meeting with the International Association of Chiefs of Police in Nashville and then had another meeting in Louisville and didn't get back until late today. So Jeff Sessions didn't have a chance to look at this. And we were told earlier today that this process was moving very slowly. I think, to be quite candid here, Jeff Sessions was in politically for himself a no-win situation. This is somebody who'd been, Andrew McCabe had been criticized repeatedly by name by the president. So if no matter what happened, and also people were well aware of the Sessions' own desire to please the president. So no matter what he did, if he said McCabe should be fired, as he has done, there'll be people criticizing him for that. If he said McCabe shouldn't be fired, that would not please the White House. I mean, he put him in a tough position, but that's the job.
Pete Williams, thank you very much for joining us tonight with this breaking news. Attorney General Jeff Sessions firing the former acting director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, just 2 days before Andrew McCabe's retirement date was to become official.
All right, my royal family, let me take that down. You know what? Listening to this, they should have got rid of him a long time ago, all the accusations that they are talking about. This shows you how disingenuous these people is. They all up there are corrupt. And now all of a sudden they want to act on the moral high ground. And what they do is they'll have all this dirt on people, and they'll use them for whatever purpose they want to use them for. Now, the reason why everybody is shocked about it, because they have a tradition, the way that they operate up there. And Trump holds personal vendettas. And like I said, Trump is so arrogant. He don't quite understand how it operates in that world up there in D.C. They're going to show him something, and it's going to be slow and methodical how they tear him down. All of them are corrupt. So that's the crazy part. They all criminals. They gangsters in suits, but they do shit to each other. This all we're seeing is how white folks get down when they're fighting. See, we have been, in this system, we have been brainwashed to think that black folks don't get along. We fight dirty all the time. We're real vicious. And human beings are just vicious towards each other. We can look at all different types of races. But there's always, everything is always amplified with us. But these folks get down dirty. Don't ever get fooled, which a lot of us are not, by somebody in a suit and a tie. This is how they get down. Like I said, they even said that about Ben Carson when he decided to run for president. I said, what he is saying is he's willing to be corrupt. He's willing to be a liar. He's willing to kill people off. Oh, it's a lot of stuff. You have to give up a lot of stuff to be a president. And there's a certain way that you have to posture yourself. Trump don't have no tact, no diplomacy. He's vindictive. There's nothing more than a man-child up there. And he wants loyalty as well. It's going to be quite interesting to see how this all turns out. And I believe at the end of the day, back here to Mr. KEEBLER, it's just in due time. Because his driving force, KEEBLER, is to take the sledgehammer and come down on the royal family. Now, we are in the retrograde phase, my royal family. And remember the last retrograde, Omarosa got fired. So this week, 2 people have gotten fired. It could be more. I can't even keep up because it's a revolving door up there in D.C. So anyway, my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.